Thank you for staying with us. Let's now do Mission. Mission is supported by Star Ghana Foundation with thanks to FCDO. In tonight's edition of Mission, we take you to Gundok, a farming community in the Nabdam district of the Upper East region. My colleague Sunny Nibler reports the education of a 15-year-old girl is threatened after her parents forcefully married her off to a middle-aged farmer.
The Gundok community consists of smaller dispersed settlements with inhabitants being peasant farmers. The community has a school attended by children from more than 4 communities. However, factors including forced marriage, teenage pregnancy and elopement driven by poverty have truncated the education of many teenage girls. The Gundok Junior High School has for the past 10 years recorded cases of forced marriage and teenage pregnancies. When the mission team visited the school in late November, 2 cases were fresh. I met a 15-year-old Form 2 student, Hannah, who has been forced into marriage by her biological parents. She's back in school but lives in the husband's house. The man, who was already married with 3 children, divorced his children's mother for the teenage girl. The children and their newly found teenage mother attend the same school.
We invited the parent to find out whether actually it was true. The parent confirmed that actually she got married, but he told the husband that he shouldn't allow her to stop schooling. We spoke to the parent that what he did is unfair because it's not 2 things to worry about. How can a girl be schooling while being in the husband's house?
According to Frafra tradition, Hannah is married, which is against the Children's Act. Her parents have already collected her bride price. She tells me that combining her marital duties together with education is already weighing down on her.
If I don't get up early, I can't sweep the compound. I can't cook fast if I don't get up early, and I do that late. I can't come to school that. If I come to school late, my teachers will not leave me.
Hannah's parents took cola, 6 bottles of locally brewed gin, 6 guinea fowls, and a cash amount of 300 cedis as bride price.
The day your father told you that he has collected your bride price from the guy, so you should go and marry him, how did you feel?
I said that I can't do like that. My father forcing me.
For Hannah, she finds no joy in the union and wanted to run away from the man's house, but her parents are not ready to welcome her back home. Teachers say the trend has been disturbing. Head teacher at the Gundok Primary School was equally not happy about the soaring cases of child marriage recorded in the school.
When the child just grow up to some level, they will force for the girl to go and marry, and they'll correct their cows. So some of them are they are having that mentality of the marriage. So he will just say, oh, if you go and marry and I pick my cow, is that not better than for you wasting education? There is no year you will not hear about 2 or 3 have married.
In my engagement with Hannah in the school, I realized some physiological changes in her that she herself had not noticed. I suspected she was pregnant, so I took her to a nearby community-based health planning and services center, Chips compound, for a test to be done. After 5 minutes, the test result was ready. Sadly, the result proved positive. Hannah now fears for her education. Her mother, being the only occupant in the house at the time of our visit, welcomed us outside of the home.
I was given for marriage at a young age. My daughter is equally young, and I don't want her to bring home teenage pregnancy. That is why I supported the move to marry her off.
She told the team she has no knowledge about the implications of forcing her daughter into early marriage.
We have heard his parents. I'll discuss with my husband. If he agrees, then we'll bring her home to continue her education.
Dr. Mark Kurt Nawani, is the Member of Parliament for Nabdam.
It appears the society has accepted the situation, and if you are an MP and you want to go around solving such problems, I'm telling you that very soon you will hit the rocks. The man providing food for the 2 wives or 3 wives and then the 10 children, if you remove that man and go and put him in prison, and those number of children, where are you sending them to?
In Nabdam, cases of forced and early marriages, elopements, and teenage pregnancies are usually not reported to authorities, and efforts to rescue survivors of forced and early child marriages are fiercely resisted by the corporates.
You have to report to the authorities if your father or your mother is not treating you well. But if this thing does not come to our notice, we have very little to do. But if they bring I've been solving problems like that here. If you seek your responsibility in taking care of your daughter in school, that one I will take you on.
The district girls education coordinator is overwhelmed.
This year, 2022, 4 of our girls got married. And in fact, it was so painful that I say I have to fight and rescue these girls. It was not easy. In fact, my life was at risk. But with the support of other stakeholders, we have been able to rescue these girls.
The predominant situation confronting most schools in the Nabdam district has to do with the fact that at the lower primary level, enrollment is very high, but along the way, these figures tend to decline, especially when the girls are transitioning from basic 6 to junior high school Form 1. This is because at this stage, most of the girls have attained their adolescent status, and so their body parts have begun developing. And it is at this stage that the men in the community tend to take advantage of them by capturing them young. But in doing so, they tend to destroy their education.
In the case of Hannah, the social welfare department in the district has taken keen interest, but it is under-resourced to function.
We are not everywhere, but we continue to do our sensitization to let parents know that children are not properties that can be exchanged for money or animals.
Shelter to accommodate rescued girls is non-existent in the district. He believes that the continuous sensitization of parents in the district to prioritize the education of girls is key to changing the narrative. In all this, the traditional authority also has a role to play.
These things, it's difficult for one person to say, I will do this, I will do that. When you even say you can do it or you will do it, and others are not collaborating, they are not cooperating with you, then your effort cannot yield any result.
The prevalence rate of child marriage in Ghana stands at 21%, which means that 1 out of every 5 girls marry before attaining the constitutionally sanctioned marriage age of 18. Causes of child marriage, which are deeply rooted in mainly poverty and tradition, can be addressed in Nabdam if stakeholders work together to prioritize the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which promotes access to quality education and lifelong learning for all by 2030. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Gundog, Nabdam.
That's the very sad story of Hannah and other teenage girls being robbed of their future due to early child marriages. But that's it for Mission. Mission is supported by Star Ghana Foundation with thanks to FCDO. Sports News is up next. Please stay with us.